Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode here in NHL 21. So last episode, we simmed the last half of the season. We also made quite a bit of trades to try and get this team to being a playoff team, but unfortunately, we just missed out on the playoffs, and yeah, that was the first time we missed the playoffs in a very, very long time. Like, I think probably over a decade's worth of simulating. So kind of sucked that we missed, but I think this gives us an opportunity to retool our team a little bit and maybe make some off-season moves to try and get our team back to being a championship team again as fast as possible, because we only have like around, I think, maybe 7 more seasons left of this franchise mode before we run out of time of the 25 years. So yeah, we're probably going to be making at least one trade at this draft, which I will get to in a bit, because we do have a comment from HawksFan88 that kind of refers to it a little bit. So he says, I think it might be time for this team to go into a rebuild with a lot of your better players being older and you just missed the playoffs. Maybe worth a try to move up in the draft as well. And I basically replied to him and I said, yeah, I don't know if we could go through a full-on rebuild because of the amount of time we have left, but I could try moving Coley Minen in 10th overall to try and get a top 5 pick. And Hawks fan said, if you could shoot for 4th pick, that would be ideal, because I really like Dika, since he's probably a medium elite sniper. So I think we're going to try and move up to number 4 by moving Coley Minen in our 10th overall pick and seeing if that helps out, because if we move out Coley Minen as well, it frees up a lot of our cap space and we can bring in more off-season players, and I think that will give us a chance to rebuild this team a tiny bit and being really good, because we get rid of Coley Minen and we still have Matthews, we have Powell, we have Hobbs. I don't know if Messer is going to come back this offseason or what. But getting rid of Coley Minen frees up like $11.7 million in cap hit for for this coming season. So that's really good news if we do trade him away. And then, as you can see, we would still have like the Kaiser, we'd still have Corbin signed, and then it comes down to if we bring back Hillis, Eiserman, Wong, that type of thing. Dingman still signed, Bullion still signed. Like, a lot of our guys are older, like Hawksfan was saying, but if we are to trade away somebody like Coley Minen, we free up another roster spot, and then we also save a lot of cap space, and then we also get probably a good prospect in the draft if we can move up. So that's more likely what we're going to be doing in this episode. So I think our team is going to be probably pretty good going into next year. The only problem is we do have guys like Wall who are on decline, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So that is interesting. Okay, so we should have actually a lot more cap space going into free agency, because also Punos probably won't be re-signed and he's making like 7 mil. So we might have to go through a tiny bit of a retool, but I think our team is going to look a lot better cap-wise and cap situation-wise going into next season. So anyways, let's get into this draft and try and move up to 4th overall. See if we can get that Dika guy, because if we go to the draft class, yeah, this is the guy he wanted me to go after, Isaac Dika. So let's see. So let's try and trade with Florida, even though they don't want to move the pick technically, but we will give them 10th overall, which has a lot of value. And if I give you guys UC Coley Minen, or whatever the heck his name is, yeah, give you Coley Minen, that might go through on its own. I might be able to get back something as well into this trade. Can I get a 2nd round pick actually as well? Probably not. They don't have a 3rd, which is kind of annoying. Let's see if I can add in a 4th to this deal, because I should be able to, because Coley Minen's got a lot of value still. Let's try this. A 1st and a 4th for 10th and Coley Minen. That's rejected. Let me get rid of the 4th. Yeah, let me just do this straight up, I guess. That's still rejected. That's interesting that that's rejected. I could try and move into the top 3, but I might have to give up some other stuff in order to get this to go through. I don't really know if we need our 3rd round pick, because it's probably not going to be much of a prospect. Yeah, so I'm going to throw in our 3rd, which is a little weird to do, but I'll also throw in our 3rd round pick, and that's accepted. So we gave up a lot to move up that many spots, but I think it is worth it, just because it frees up all that cap hit, and then also we get a really good prospect, probably in Dika. It depends on who goes earlier, because Toronto, Vegas, Dallas have those picks. So we moved up quite a bit from number 10 all the way to number 4. I think that was worth it in the end, because now we only have our 1st round pick, and we don't have, I think we are all the way up in the 4th round after this. So let's see what happens. So Toronto at number 1 is going to take Valahadi, who's a franchise sniper. Jeez. If I would have been able to trade for first overall, I had no idea this guy was a franchise player, but that is a really good pickup for Toronto. Yeah, this guy's going to be a nuts of a player, probably jumping in next season. Like, being an 84 out of the draft is probably one of the highest I've seen for a first overall pick, so that's really good. Vegas at number 2 is going to take another sniper in Emery, who's an 83 overall. So a lot of snipers in this first start of the draft, it looks like, which is interesting. And in Dallas at number 3 is going to take Hanula, who's a power forward. So I feel like literally everybody that's going to be in this top like 5 that are snipers and stuff like that, they all have a chance to win like Richard at some point. But we might not be able to see them win once. So, but yeah, Isaac Dika, yeah. He's going to be a good player as well. So we're going to take Isaac Dika and see how good he is. He's an 82 sniper. Jeez, this is a really strong draft for at least the top 4 picks. Like, if it stays like that for, like, multiple picks after this, that's crazy. Like, all these guys are NHL ready. Like, Dika's going to play in our lineup next year, which means we could always let go of Wong and replace him with Dika. Yeah, let's look at Dika's stats. His shooting's really good. His senses are pretty good for now. Puck skills are pretty good as well. His defense isn't that bad for a sniper, which is good. His skating is really good, and then his physical's not there really, but he does still have good durability and body checking and stuff like that for a sniper, which is kind of impressive. All around a pretty solid player for his size too. Who's Boston going to take at number 5? It's an 80 overall. Damn. Yeah, this is a really strong draft for the top 5. I'm just curious, is it going to continue like that afterwards? No, it's not. 70 top 6. Is there going to be any other steals though? Nope. Okay, so anyways, that's the first round. Now we don't have a pick all the way to the 4th round, which means I don't really know what we want to go with. A Mad Rooter. This guy's got good shooting as well, but he doesn't have an ETA and stuff. But I still might go with him. 3 years away for Vitaly Frolov, but he's 19. He doesn't have any weakness, which is interesting. Who else do we have here? Eugene Markward. We don't really need another goalie, but we could use a goalie for a backup of the future. So, you know what? We're going to take Eugene Markward from Erie. See how good he is. He's a fringe starter. Damn. 60 overall. Not too bad still. But it kind of sucks. He's only 17, so hopefully he develops into being maybe a good goalie for the AHL, or he could be a good backup for us in the future. Now on to our 6th round pick, because we didn't have a 5th rounder. What do we want to get? I might just randomly take a player. Scouts will recommend us one of these 3 players, so I should probably jump on one of those 3. Which in that factor, I'm going to take a right-handed defenseman in Angelo Brewer. See how good he is. He's wow, okay, that's way better than I expected. A top 4 defenseman, but he's a 47 overall at 18. I don't know if this guy's actually going to become a top 4 defenseman, but if he does, then that's a really good pick. But he's got a really low starting overall, which is not good. Do we have a pick this round? No, we do not have a 7th round pick. So we barely had any picks in this draft, but I think that's fine because we do get a very good player in Dika at 4th overall, and then we got Markward, who's a solid goalie prospect, maybe a future backup goalie, and then Brewer, who could end up being a top 4 defenseman, but I don't think will. So pretty solid draft for us, and also by trading Coleman, we get a lot more cap, which is good, to maybe get some free agents to help us win a Stanley Cup this upcoming season. Okay, so let's go do all expiring, or actually UFAs first. So all skaters. So Wall's going to need a contract. We have $40 million, which is a relatively good amount. Since Wall looks like he's going to retire in 1 year, I'm going to try and talk him down to $7 million for 1 year. If he still wants 7.275, I will do that, I guess. But let me go to the bottom of this list of random no names and let go of some of these prospects so we can clear up some space. Just because some of these prospects are not going to make it. Tanella is a top 9 potential prospect. Might as well sign him for the AHL. We'll also sign Theo Flito, who's a low top 6. Waugh. Yeah, we'll just bring back a lot of these AHL guys if we can. Schumacher. Valen. Valen might get replaced. Yeah, I think I'm going to let go of Valen. Even though he's a good AHL player. We got to make some room up for some of our younger prospects. And I think that also means I'm going to let go of maybe not Samson. I think I gotta let go of Reichel, unfortunately, just because he's a little bit too old. I hope our AHL team can do good next year as well. So NHL wise, though, we do still, yeah, Hobbs definitely needs a contract. I could give him a 1-year deal, 1.925 if he wants. I don't know if Wong's going to come back, unfortunately. Like, he's a good player and all, but I don't know if he's going to come back because he didn't really like how much ice time I was giving him. So we could try and get him back, but I don't know how much he's going to want. As for a lot of these type of guys, I might bring back somebody like Korea, because wasn't Korea plus for us? Yeah, it was a +7 in 19 games, so I think I'm going to bring back Korea on a 1-year deal. See if I can get him for that. I don't know about Rigier and stuff like that, so I'll leave those guys for now. And then Punos is definitely going to be leaving this team. Allen will maybe come back for the AHL and stuff as well, because we do need some AHL goalies. RFA-wise, we only have 2 RFAs in our Alexandrov and Renberg, so Renberg's definitely just going to get signed for the AHL, and Alexandrov, yeah, 1.9 is fine for me, but I'll talk you down a little bit to 1.75. And goalie-wise, we do got Stevenson, who needs a contract, which, yeah, I think I could give him a 2-year deal for now, but I don't know if I should just try and lock him up, like, for 8 years right now. I think I'll give him a 2-year deal. Yeah, I think I'll give him a 2-year deal like he's asking for, just to see how good he plays as a starter, because we haven't seen that yet, and I don't want to overpay him yet, because he might end up being like Punov's and not that good of a goalie, even though he's elite. We're going to sign Dika to his ELC, because he will be in our lineup next year, and then I think everybody else isn't going to get signed yet. Yeah. Okay, so let's advance today, see if we get all those guys we wanted to get back. Looks like some rejected, which was Wall, which really sucks. Go down here, Reuter rejected, I'll just let go of him. Okay, so we have all these guys to deal with, and then Punos, like I said, is going to go, so I'm going to already let him go. Thank you for your time here, Punos. Thank you for that 1 Stanley Cup, but you got to go because you're not that good, and you want like 9 mil for 1 year or 18 mil for 2 much years. And besides, Stevenson's our future, so let you go. Which kind of blows, but we got to let him go. And we still just got these guys left, and that's pretty much it. So definitely Wall needs to come back. I will give him still what he wants, 1 year. I'll talk him up a little bit, just because Wall is, he's been here since the beginning, so we got to keep him around even if he's going to drop off. I think I've got to try and get Wong back. Cork actually was pretty good of a defenseman. Oh my god, what the hell are you smoking? A 79 wanting $7 million? Whoa. I mean, Cork is good defensively, so, but I don't really know if that's worth it. Why does he want that much money? Like, you're not going to get paid $7 million to be a 79 overall defenseman. Like, I mean, I could just do this year, and then talk him down to like 6 point something, but, that would take up a decent amount of our cap. Like, we could probably sign a better defenseman for that price. So I think for now, defenseman like Cork I will let go of, but I might bring back in the off season. But like right now, that's way too steep of a contract to give him. I think Abraham Regier didn't play a single game with us, but I think I still will sign this guy because he might be decent. He wants like $3 million, which is a lot. Yeah, there's like an influx of what players want, it seems like. So let's see if I can give you a 1 year deal at $3 million. Yzerman's just been more of a depth forward for us. I think I'm going to let him go. Yeah, I'm going to let him go for now. And then Hillis, does he want a 2-way deal? Yeah, he does. I'll still sign him if he wants to come back. Mestre is not that bad as a 4th line center, but I don't really know. He's not been great defensively. And then also, he doesn't really step up in the playoffs when he needs to. So, yeah, I think I'm going to let go of Hunter Mestre for now. I do want to bring back Wong if I can. I'll just give him what he wants because that's relatively cheap for an 81. Let's see if we can get them. And Wall rejected, but Wong, or wait, no, Wong didn't accept. Wait, did Wong just drop off? Wasn't he just an 81? What the heck? I offered him a contract and he drops down to a 78. What the heck? Okay, that's really weird. I don't even know what just happened, but whatever. So Wall is the only one that's still rejecting, really, that matters that much right now. Like I said, Hillis is not that bad, so I could still give him a deal. See if he do 1 year at 1 million. Like, he could be an easy, a good depth forward for us. I do need Wall back, though. Let's give Wall 1 year at $8 million. Because Wall is the player that we need to always bring back. It might be a bit of an overpayment, but Wall needs to always come back. I don't know if Wong is really gonna... I kind of want to bring him back, but it's weird that he just randomly dropped off. I'll try and give him still 3 years. We might be able to utilize him more next season, but 3 years at 3.8. And then I think that's pretty much that, right? Yeah. Oh, Stevenson rejected. Jeez, I didn't even realize that. Come on, Stevenson. I'll give you 2 years and give you 1.8. I know it's a little bit of an overpayment, but still. You're a future. And I think I got all those guys. Wow, Wong accepted. I'm pretty surprised on that. And yeah, we got Stevenson for those 2 years. So just the only one that doesn't have a contract is Quirk, but we could replace him or we could try and bring him in free agency. But I'm going to let him go for now. I know he was a good defensive defenseman for us. But now, what do we have for our roster? We have 22 million in cap space, so we are actually freeing up cap a lot because of that Koleinen deal. Because if we still had Koleinen, we would only have like 11 million in cap space. So going into next season so far for centers, we got Matthews, Powell, and Hobbs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and maybe 9 roster players there. 10, 11, 12, 13. I think our roster is almost pretty much set. We don't necessarily need a forward, but if you guys would rather me play a forward over somebody like Hillis and whatnot, like Hillis is probably depth. Corbin and Wong would probably be in the lineup. I do want to play Timothy Acker to an extent because he's a good shooter, but I don't know if I will be able to. But we could probably use maybe some forward. I just don't know where really. Then defensively, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We might be fine on defense, but we should probably bring in a better defenseman into the mix because Stapleton could probably fit into our bottom 6 of our defensive core with like Korea. So we could probably find a top 4 defenseman to play alongside Biggs because Biggs might be our top 2 defenseman next season. And then Wall and Stewart could be the second pairing, which means we could always find a top defenseman that's a left-handed D to play alongside Biggs because that would be interesting. And then Medvedov would probably be in it as a depth defenseman, or we could try and throw him into the lineup. I don't know. Goalie-wise, we just got Stevenson, so we do need a backup goaltender, so that's something we definitely need. But overall-wise, our team doesn't look that bad going into next season already, which is great, just because we throw in Dika and we get rid of Koleinen. I'm excited to see what Dika could do in his first season. So let's sim to free agency and see what is available, and then that'll be pretty much it for this episode. I don't think we're going to be making any more trades this offseason, but who knows, maybe we will. I think that Koleinen deal is good enough, but if you guys need to make more, let me know. But if we are to look for some players, we do need a backup goalie, as I was mentioning, so let's sort this by overall, and let's also make these all UFAs, because I'd never sign RFAs in franchise mode. If we want a backup, we could bring in somebody like Lincoln Marlowe, who's not that bad of a goalie. He's played in Buffalo for the last few years, and he's been pretty good of a goalie, too. Yeah, he might be a decent backup option. And how much does he want? 1.7, so we could probably bring him in. I think that would be one of the best backup options. There's also Blanchard. We could bring in Jang, who only wants 850K. He's 28. But this guy doesn't... He's barely played in the NHL. He's only played 1 game. So we could give this guy an opportunity if we wanted to. There's also like Churin. We could bring back Francis Nguyen if we wanted to. He wants 850K, but he might drop off because of his age. He just went 12-1 in Arizona. Jeez. Huh. That's a really good season from him. Damn. Didn't lose almost a single game in 17 attempts. And that goes against the average, and save percentage is pretty good too. So we could always bring back Francis Nguyen, but I don't know if we will. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the goalie front. There's a lot of different backups we could bring in, but if you guys see anything in particular you want me to bring in, let me know. Like there's the Shirikov guy that had elite potential but wasn't going to be an elite player. But yeah, there's a lot of backup options. And then if we go to defensemen and want to look for a top 2 defenseman to play alongside Biggs on our top pairing, because I think we'll probably run with Wall and Stewart on our second pairing. And we could always bring in somebody like Punos, this Punos defenseman. Yeah, he would fit our top pairing probably in our penalty kill, so I think Punos would be the best option. But we would have to pay him like $7 million. He's a two-way defenseman, though. He's not a defensive defenseman, which kind of sucks, but he would still be pretty good. But there's not really a whole lot of good goalies out there, or not goalies, defensemen out there. And a lot of guys want a lot of money. Like, I don't even know why Cork wants 7.2. And then also these two guys want 7.2. But yeah, if we want to bring in a certain defenseman, those are what's available. There's also a Datsu guy who's only 23, but he's 78. Huh. This guy had 106 penalty minutes in the AHL. Jeez. Drafted by the Canucks in the first round way back. Interesting. So that's what's available for defensemen. And then if we want to bring in a forward, because we do have the cap space too. I don't know if we will. But if we go by centers, starting off with, these are the best centers available. There's a medium elite grinder as the top player. Interesting. Huh. Center-wise, there's some good centers available, but like I don't really know if we really need to bring in anything. We could bring in a forward if we could like afford it and whatnot, which we probably would be able to if we picked up a cheap goalie and a decently cheap defender. But I don't really know if we need to actually sign anybody because of the amount we have. We could bring back like Nelson Perrin, for example. There's a lot of always former players in free agency, it seems like. But if you guys want me to bring in any of these players, let me know. Like Mitchell Tucker, who we traded to Colorado. He got dropped to free agency after 2 really good seasons in Colorado. We could always bring back Mitchell Tucker. He does fit our 4th line only, though, which is kind of eh. But still, it would be interesting to bring back Tucker, because I didn't really want to trade him away at that one point, but we had to. And that's pretty much that. So yeah, there's a lot of different players out there that we could bring in if we want to. And then if we go to right wingers, the best is DeBrincat at 39 years old. Kind of surprised he's still playing. And a bunch of other players. Dylan Nolan, looks like he's dropping off a little bit. We had him at least a few years ago before he went to St. Louis, I think. There's also both of the Jenners are there. Again, Xavier and Harvey Jenner. Oh, Christian Sedin is back in free agency after we traded him away. He actually played 43 games with Arizona down the stretch. Had 10 points during that span, was a -6. Huh. It's interesting to see that he actually got some time with Arizona after we traded him. So that's pretty much what's available if we want to sign any free agents. I will also show you guys the trading block, I think. Even though I don't know if we're going to make any more trades in the offseason, because I think that Coley Minen deal was pretty much enough we needed to do. Looks like some picks in Anaheim, picks in Arizona. Wow, Gunnarson's on the block by Boston. Damn, Boston really dropped off a cliff after we lost him in the playoffs. Yeah, well, that is an insane change. He had 91 points and he only goes down to 53 points. He was a -40. Like, what happened to Boston? Like, they just must have lost somebody, like, huge. What else do they got? Dahlin on the block. We know he could win a lot of, not Vezinas, what the heck am I saying? Norris's, that's what I'm trying to say. Thomas Larson's in Buffalo, that's interesting, but he's signed for 2 years at $6 million. Huh, interesting. But yeah, we could always bring in somebody via the trading block. A lot of former players actually on the block too. Gueron's on the block still. His point production's dropped down a lot as well because he used to play with like a franchise level player in this like season where he had 85 points, but then afterwards his ice time went down and it's not as good as then. Interesting. What else we got here? Picks in Chicago, picks in Colorado, Columbus. Yeah, it's not really a whole lot out there. Oh, there's some players, Ponomarev and Nugent Hopkins, Wall. Hey, Coley Minen's right back on the block for Florida. I don't know why they would have done that deal then. Huh. It's interesting. I wonder if he's actually going to get the play in Florida or if Florida's going to deal him before then. Because if Florida deals him again, that would be kind of interesting. Brophy. What else we got here? Sword. There's not really a whole lot of interesting players on the block. But like I said, I don't think we were going to make much trades anyways if we did. Now, Emmanuel Bussier, I think his name is. Yeah, this guy's not that bad. He's got a 1-year deal at 6.5. 86 overall 2-way forward. I don't know where we would slot this guy in. But if we wanted to bring in a player for 1 year, that might be the type of player. There's also Connor Lockhart, who's not that bad, but he's signed for 2 years. But Bussier might be an interesting one to trade for. But he probably has a lot of values, so we would probably have to give up a decent amount to get him. There's also guys like Ollie, who's available. Gabo. These two. Damn, why is Gabo making $7 million? He must have dropped off. But yeah, if we want to trade for a forward, those guys are open to be traded for. There's also Blair, who's a defenseman, but this guy's making 8.3 for 2 years. I don't like that. Interesting. Erzberg is a defenseman making 5.4. There's also Langdon, who's kind of interesting, but he's making $8 million. I don't like that. And that's pretty much that. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. So, in next episode, we will sign some free agents to bolster our team a little bit more. And I think our team could maybe make it back to the playoffs next season just because we traded away Coley Mine and brought in a very good young sniper in Dika. So, let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.